Today we're going to take a look at special right triangles. These are triangles that occur quite frequently and get used a lot. The two types are 45-45-90 and 30-60-90. We're going to take a look at the 45-45-90 right triangle first. If we take a look, we notice in the 45-45-90 we got two angles that are the same. That means two sides are supposed to be the same if you remember back to your geometry days. It's a nice isosceles triangle. So for generic purposes, we're going to label that K. It turns out the ratio of the sides to the hypotenuse in this case are K times the square root of 2. So let's take a look at the ones on the worksheet that are a 45-45-90 right triangle. Let's look at number 4. If we put in, look at our pattern, we're supposed to have two sides that are the same. If we look at the picture here, the 10 and the y should be the same. Therefore, the length of the side for y will be 10. To find the length of the hypotenuse, we're going to take the side length and multiply by the square root of 2. We're going to take 10 and multiply by the square root of 2. And hence x will be 10 square root of 2. Let's look at another 45-45-90 triangle. Number 5 is also a 45-45-90 triangle. Tell by the 45-degree angle right there. First thing we want to do is pick out the two sides that are the same. In this case, it's going to be the 4 square root of 2 and the y. So that means the length of y will be the same, 4 square root of 2. Now to find the hypotenuse, if you remember, we're going to take the side length and we're going to multiply by the square root of 2. You may be able to do this quicker, but most people multiply the square root of 2 and square root of 2 together to get the square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So the side length where the x is at is going to be 8. If we jump to number 7, this is our other 45-45-90 triangle. If we locate the two sides that are the same length, it's actually going to be the u and the v. So the 6 square roots of 2 will be the hypotenuse. Now if you remember, the ratio for the hypotenuse was k times the square root of 2. If we're going to solve for the k, or the side lengths, we need to divide by the square root of 2. So the side lengths will both be 6. Let's go back to the 30-60-90 triangle. On the 30-60-90 triangle, we're going to have a short side, which is going to be across from the 30-degree angle. We're going to have a medium side, which is across from the 60-degree angle. And we got our hypotenuse. Now, if we go with your generic formulas again, short side, let's represent that with k. The hypotenuse is going to be double that, or 2 times k. And the medium side is going to be the short side k times the square root of 3. All right, let's put this into practice then. So let's look at the first 30, 60, 90, our examples. Number 2. If we look at which sides we got, the y is going to be the short side, x is going to be the medium side, 12 will be the hypotenuse. Oops. Sorry for that little technical difficulty there. So let's take a look at what we got. We got the hypotenuse. That is equal to 2 times the short side. So to find the length of the short side, we divide by 2. 12 divided by 2 will give us 6. In this case, y will be 6. Find the medium side, we're going to take the short side, and we're going to multiply by the square root of 3. So in this case, x will be 6 times the square root of 3. Let's clean that up a little bit. Looking at number 3. If we look at the sides for number 3, we got the medium side, the short side, and the hypotenuse. Since the 8 square roots of 3 is the medium side, it's equal to the ratio for the medium side, which is the short side times the square root of 3. So to find the length of the short side, technically we're going to divide by the square root of 3. We find out that the short side is going to be 8. So in this case, B is going to be 8. Then if you remember, the hypotenuse is 2 times the short side. So if we multiply the 8 by 2, we get 16 for A. Number 6, last one. If we look at number 6, the 2 is the short side, the V is the medium side, and the U is going to be the hypotenuse. So this works out nice. The hypotenuse is 2 times the short side. So the 2 times 2 means that side is going to be 4. The medium side is the short side times the square root of 3. So it means the V will be 2 times the square root of 3. If you're okay with everything here, you may stop the video. If you're curious as to why the ratios are what they are, you may continue to watch. Let's start with the 45, 45, 90 triangle. If you remember, we said because the 2 angles were congruent, that the 2 sides had to be congruent. So we labeled them K. If you remember your Pythagorean theorem, says that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, so the square of each of the short sides is equal to the square of the hypotenuse when added together. In our case, we'd have k squared plus k squared equals c squared. K squared plus k squared will be 2k squared. To solve for c, the length of the hypotenuse, we're going to take the square root. And if we simplify the radical, because it's a square root of a k squared, the k can come out. But the 2 has to stay inside the square root. So that's why the length of the hypotenuse is the short side times the square root of 2. The 30, 60, 90 explanation is a little bit different. The 30, 60, 90 triangle originally started as part of a equilateral triangle, which you can see if we put two 30, 60, 90 triangles together. Oh, almost got it. There we go. We would see that with the two 30-degree angles, that is also going to be a 60-degree angle. So what we have is an equilateral triangle, meaning all the sides are the same. So what was done is they labeled all the sides 2 to start with. When we took and split the triangles in half, so I'll pull this one out of here, that only left half of the triangle there. So that's why the hypotenuse is 2 and the short side is 1. Once again, if we go to the Pythagorean theorem, and let's make this generic, so let's put a k with them. A would be 1k or k. We're going to look for the long leg, the b squared. And the hypotenuse was 2k squared. If we do the math on this, this is k squared. Still looking for the b squared. The 2k squared will give us 4k squared. Subtract the k squared from both sides. We'll end up with 3k squared. We take the square root. Similar to the other one, the k squared would simplify and come out as a k. The 3 has to stay inside. So that's why the ratio there is k, 2k for the hypotenuse, and k times the square root of 3 for the medium side. Hope that helps. Have a good day.